What is Chromax? How does it work on insulin? And really, what are we looking at with insulin? Do you ever find yourself during diet phases asking yourself, why am I so hungry? If so, you're not alone. We talk about this a lot on our Instagram through our Q&As. The question is often asked, what supplements can I use to suppress my appetite? And often, honestly, I do preach on willpower and discipline because those are important tools for athletes to understand and sticking to their diets. But there are a few good ingredients that can help with suppressing appetite. And today we're going to talk about a simple, effective one, Chromax, or the trademarked version of chromium picolinate from Nutrition 21. If you're wondering why Nutrition 21 sounds familiar, it shouldn't. It's a company that we talk about quite often. They've brought things like Velocitol, Nitrosgene, New Level, and many other very well science-backed ingredients with a lot of data to talk about that are effective and in the mainstream culture today. Chromax is a mineral that has been around for a long time. It's in a lot of GDAs, but in my opinion, is not talked about enough. It's most often just seen as a mineral and not as an active ingredient, really where we should see it. So today we'll be talking about Chromax as a very effective appetite suppressor through an interesting pathway. So put on your science caps, and if you want, pull up a laptop with the blog post on Chromax today, and let's talk about the science behind the ingredient. Now, this is going to be a bit of a roundabout discussion here. Mike takes us on quite a journey on his blog post, and I'm using it as a bit of an outline for this video on how some studies on some other things you wouldn't have expected will take us to appetite suppression in Chromax. But first, we need to understand, what is Chromax, how does it work on insulin, and really, what are we looking at with insulin? Chromium, the generic of what Chromax is trademarked about, is an essential mineral nutrient that, when ingested via diet or supplementation, has profound effects primarily dealing with insulin action. Now, we've covered this a lot. I've talked about Chromax quite a few different times, but not appetite suppression. So if you're interested in more on how chromium works, you can go check out our other videos on it. You can check out our blog post on our site about it. There's a lot of other stuff, and I'm going to try not to double dip on that and too much. But in today's post, we're mostly interested in the chromium appetite connection, which deals a lot with insulin. So we need to talk about what insulin is. So on top of its job as a nutrient storage hormone and the most anabolic hormone we really know in humankind, insulin acts as a neuropeptide that's heavily involved in satiety and appetite regulation. Now, this is well known in diet communities. You hear insulin spoken about a lot, whether it's debating back and forth of how much it's needed for dieting and weight loss. We definitely know that it plays a big role in satiety and your appetite and how full you feel. There's a lot of different theories exploring why that's the case, but we're always quick to point out that it is possible for people to be nutrient deficient and malnourished while still overweight. This is important because chromium deficiency is a big problem, and it's why chromium supplementation can be so important. And since chromium supplementation has consistently demonstrated an ability to successfully combat insulin resistance, one could definitely position that chromium's assistance in insulin action allows the body to more efficiently absorb nutrients, which helps decrease appetite. And while this is likely a major mechanism here, it's not actually even how researchers came to this realization that properly dosed chromium supplementations are able to reduce appetite. Rather, researchers actually found that through the mood action. Researchers actually discovered there's a mood component as well. So chromium and mood, where's the connection here? Well, follow-up placebo-controlled research in 2003 to a lot of the research in the 90s leading to a 400 to 600 microgram dosage confirmed these results at 600 micrograms. But they suggested a mechanism outside of the increased insulin sensitivity and nutrient absorption. They were talking about 5-HT2A downregulation. Now, this is a serotonin receptor downregulation. They say, quote, chromium can modify brain 5-HT, serotonin, function in humans and animals, perhaps by altering the sensitivity of central serotonin receptors. Now, serotonin is a critically important neurotransmitter. It's for modulating mood, cognition, memory, and various other processes, but it's relevant because it's a serotonin receptor that may be overabundant in subjects that have poor mood states. And this throws serotonin levels out of equilibrium when it's overexpressed. However, this study in 2002, which was performed on animals, just for the record, demonstrated that chromium supplementation increased tryptophan availability and increased brain serotonin content. So this is a strong mechanism to keep levels better regulated. And this confirmed confirms something that was postulated earlier in the 1990s, that chromium strongly impacts the production and effects of both brain noradrenaline and serotonin function. Now, it's likely that these outcomes are still related to insulin signaling. Improved insulin performance should increase the amount of tryptophan that enters the brain. It allows more serotonin production and decreases competition for other large neural amino acids. And so this whole theory comes full circle. Better insulin action allows for better nutritional uptake, which includes improved tryptophan and neurotransmitter production. Now, chromium technically works in two major yet related ways. One, with better overall nutritional absorption, satiety is more easily achieved. And number two, with better nutritional uptake, better mood can be achieved. And with that comes less appetite abnormalities. And now when you look at the actual mood studies, there is a hint of appetite control in them. One quote in the 2003 follow-up study at 600 micrograms says overeating and fatigue were significantly problems in the sample at study entry. Of the 8 patients who were overeating at baseline, 4 experienced complete disappearance of the symptom as compared to 1 of the 5 on placebo. In 5 cases, there was at least a 50% improvement by week 2. Now, when researchers see stuff like this, it generally means that there's a need for more data looking specifically into that metric. And so with the additional mechanisms understood, the success in the trials studying mood, and some case studies demonstrating improved eating habits, researchers decided it was time to research this. So chromium picolinate for appetite regulation. There are 2 now studies looking directly at the effects on appetite. The first was in 2005, studying 113 mood-disordered adults for 8 weeks. Now, this is a really cool study because the researchers primarily were interested, on top of mood, in analyzing specifically carbohydrate cravings. They gave subjects either placebo or 600 micrograms, again dialing in on that 600 microgram dosage, and the results were extremely impressive. They not only showed mood improvements with the chromium group, but they saw better appetite overall, regardless if they had been under-eating or overeating. In addition, they saw reduced carbohydrate cravings from those who had been eating carbs uncontrollably. In fact, 80% of those with high carb cravings responded to chromium picolinate. Again, this isn't a surprise because so many Americans are deficient in chromium, but the numbers really speak volumes. In the second study, published in 2008, they recruited 42 overweight adult women with carbohydrate cravings. They were assigned to either the placebo group or chromium picolinate group, and this group received 1,000 micrograms daily for 8 weeks, a new high dosage. The researchers monitored food intake and calories, and the results were incredible. Chromium picolinate resulted in reduced food intake, but it did not lead to increased hunger. So the food intake came down without an increase in hunger. This is in total contrast to the placebo group, which these volunteers did not experience any decreased food intake, and they actually reported increased hunger, interestingly. Now, one of the things that we like about Nutrition 21 is that they provide us these graphics that we're going to throw up on the screen here, showing at different dosages what the ingredients have claims for. So for Chromax, dosing creates product development options. Basically, at different dosages, you can have different products. At 1,000 micrograms, you get calorie reduction, satiety support, cognitive function. At 600, you get just craving reduction and mood support. And at 200 to 400, you get a couple small body composition, carbohydrate metabolism, and cardiovascular health claims. So it's very clear to see when things are dosed for the right claims, which you could argue isn't a problem in the industry, is companies using ingredients at lower dosages and then using the claim of the full dosage. You don't see that with a lot of Nutrition 21 ingredients. Even atrozogene, which is popular at 1,500, at 750 has some claims you can use. But you never see wonky low doses of Nutrition 21 ingredients at all. The coolest thing about this video is that chromium picolinate is available in tons of different products. You don't have to go looking for this exciting ingredient. It's been around for a long time. There's a lot of products using it, so it's popular and easy to find. And possibly you could already be enjoying these benefits already from using a product that has chromium picolinate, and you didn't even realize it because it's most often listed in the mineral section. So most people don't even realize that their popular GDA is using an ingredient that is trademarked that you are getting huge benefits out of. GDAs are super popular right now. We see a lot of really cool innovation and movement in this category, and so we wanted to point towards something that's been around for years, and you might not even be thinking about or considering it when you're choosing your GDA. So hopefully this video was helpful and and informative. There's no products in this video, so I can't say that I got any of it for free, but I do have to say we have a business affiliate relationship with Nutrition 21. We've been big fans of theirs for a long time. They bring us to a lot of industry events like Supply Side, ISSN, a lot of different stuff, and they are very active in the research community, so we're proud to be partnered up with them. If you have any questions about Chromax or Nutrition 21 products in general, you can leave a comment below. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'm a big Nutrition 21 guy and very passionate about their products. As always, guys, I appreciate making this far in the video, and have a great day.